Okay. All right, my friends. Power yoga with some hips and hamstring stretches, and we're going over to Gwen for a thorough class. Let's start in downward facing dog. And walk the legs slowly like we did before, breathing in the nose and out the nose. Always modify as needed and use control. Breathing down the back. Oh, the leaves here are really loud. They sound like footsteps. Good, stretch it out. Big hands, big inhales and exhales through the nose. My dog Addie is with me today, so I'll keep an eye on her. There she goes. All right, bring the knees down. Take this left arm, slide it through. Take the knees a little wider than usual and sink back so we get a little movement in the low back and the hips, and also a stretch in the thoracic part of the spine, the middle and upper back. And then center. Other side, right arm slides through, sink back. And one more time each side. A beautiful warm day in Florida. So make sure you warm up. This might not be enough for you. Add in your own warm up. It's all yours. One more time. Up. Bring the arm through. Ooh, that's good. All right, hands down, fingers open wide. Take it back, downward facing dog. Power flowing, of course, so we inhale forward to plank. Shifting the weight, hands under the shoulders. Keep sliding forward, and then we drop down. Elbows are gonna squeeze up against the ribs until the tops of the feet come down. Extend the legs back. Inhale, lift the upper body into cobra. Exhale, lower down, feel the extension through the crown of the head. Then we're gonna go back to down dog. So press up and back. Again, inhale forward. Keep going, feel all those muscles working together. And then lower. Stretch, cobra, or keep pressing all the way up. You're free to lift your knees off the mat as well. But you really have to squeeze the tops of the thighs for this up dog to take hold. Lifting, so not this, but this. Exhale, lower down. Stretch it out. Press back, downward facing dog. Let's take that right heel, press it down towards the mat, bend the left knee. Hamstring, right here, hamstrings, backs of the legs. A little swaying back and forth. Use your best judgment, of course. Side to side, as if there's a string attached to your hip bones. And other side, sink the left heel down. Adjust your cap. You can also bring this foot off the mat. And continue pressing this direction. So sinking the left heel down, pressing into your palm, stretching the arms and the shoulders, and relax the face and the neck. Beautiful. Vinyasa flow. Take it forward, and down. Work on that negative part right there as you lower. And cobra or up dog. Little bulge in my right pocket. Those are dog treats. I don't know if you could see it. There we go. And lower down, stretch it out, and then press back, downward facing dog. Let's go to a real favorite here. Bring the right leg up, bend the knee. Lifting, stretching, so you're getting the left hamstring and calf. Ooh, nice. Wonderful stretch, wonderful movement, wonderful breath. And then right leg forward, pigeon pose. You can bend this back leg if you like, or extend it back, walking that foot as far up as you're comfortable with. I like to place my hands down here, a little more than shoulder width, and rock side to side. You never want to lose that flow, lose that connection with the flow and the breath. Keep it alive. your favorite songs, movies, conversations, they all have a definite flow, a beautiful movement to them and purpose behind them. They flow like water. Nothing worse than talking to someone that you have no verbal flow with, no conversational flow. Small talk, forget it. We don't do that. We want to flow and move and unlock your potential. All right, step back to plank, vinyasa flow. Flow, flow, flow. Hitting all those pivotal poses. Back to down dog. Left leg up. Press the right heel down. It's pigeon time. Left leg forward. Hi. Hands a little more than hip width. And we go back and forth. Back and forth. Massaging the glute, the hip flexor back here. Shoulders are back and down. I always feel a nice lift also in the chest, the abdominals. And I relax my shoulders. So we're not tensing up like this, we're relaxed. Keep it loose. Can never go wrong with a pigeon or all its beautiful variations. Unlocking hip potential, hip movement, mobility, glutes, legs, low back. And there goes Addie. All right, step back plank, vinyasa flow. Cobra or up dog. Power in the arms and shoulders. Exhale, lower slowly. Take the right leg out. Look at that little surprise there. This is a flat Spider-Man. So we have this leg out. You can extend the leg too if you wish. Let's take it back and forth. Other leg. Looks a slight bit peculiar, doesn't it? But you use the body weight and gravity to open up the glute and the hip and the back. Once more on each side. The flat Spider-Man. I like that. Feel free to do more and more and more. All right, up dog or cobra, lift. Lower again, and then down dog. Take the left leg up, left foot forward, lunge to start. We're gonna turn this lunge into a side lunge. So stretch that back leg. Addie's. There we go. Call out to Addie. That's in the instructions. Arms up. Open into cactus arms. Now from here, a nice transition into side lunge. We're going to turn to the front. Open up the hips. Sink down, putting the weight onto this side, your left side. If you're mirroring me, your other side. Opening the hips. Fingers down or hands together. Side lunge. Opening. Shoulders back and down. Working your balance, your core strength and stability. And of course, opening the groin, the psoas, the hips, the hamstrings. You can also flex this foot for more. If you ever have your own comic book, your own superhero, this is a pose you would probably do. All right, now turn it back to lunge. Lift up. Melting down, step back down dog. Right leg up. And let's do that same thing on the other side. Lunge first. Addies. And then melting down into side lunge. Turn. There we are. Arms out for more balance. 2 more breaths. Beautiful. Turn it back to the lunge. Up, up, up. Cactus arms. Melting down, vinyasa flow. Let's finish this off. Before we turn it over to Gwen Lawrence. We just keep training, keep getting better, stronger every time. Take it back to down dog. All right, one more thing. Let the knees come down. Face me, bottoms of the feet together. Have to go with a classic here. Butterfly stretch, rocking it back and forth. Nice mobility in the lower back, in the groin, in the hips, of course. in high school or youth sports, we sometimes do this. We bounce, we do ballistic, but keep it flowing. Move through. There's Addie smiling at me. Move through it. All right, my friends. Excellent. I'm going to turn it over to Gwen. Gwen, they're all yours.
Hi, everybody. Gwen Lawrence here. Let's really focus on some hip, hamstring, regen today. We're going to take about 10 minutes, so it's doable for everybody. And you're really going to need a block for this today. If you don't have a block, you could take a towel, fold it up so it's a little bit more dense and compact and use that. But consider investing in a block because it will help you go a little bit next level. Okay, so what we're gonna do is stretch those legs out, lean back on your hands, shake out the legs. Let's just take a little assessment of our hips for a moment. So leaning back, close your eyes, just sink into your shoulders and let your feet flop out. Okay, so opening your eyes without changing your feet, take a look. Hopefully they look kind of symmetrical. If you have one hip that's a little bit tighter, you're gonna notice something that looks like this or like that, or they just look a little bit wonky. So know that the one that's pointing up a little bit more is the tighter side and may need a little bit more attention, okay? So easy cross leg, let's roll over onto your hands and knees and into a nice downward dog. This downward dog, we're gonna focus on sinking the heels, having equal weight in both hands. Let's bend the knees, press the chest back towards your thighs, and then straighten the legs. Dig it into those hamstrings. Couple deep cleansing breaths here. Feel. Don't roll off that big toe. And walk it to the front of your mat. Set the feet up hips width apart and drape yourself over. Let's let the arms hang today. Chin to chest center. Looking between your legs, behind you. Rock forward and back on your feet. Find the center. Take 2 more deep breaths. Really let that upper body go. Chances are you're holding back a little bit. And then we're going to bring the feet into a turned out position or whatever feels right for you and come into a squat. So nothing says depth of stretch in the hips, in the thighs, in the calves, in the ankles, like a good squat. If you're not up to being in the center of the room, feel free to slide down a wall just so you get a nice deep stretch. Okay, so very carefully come onto your hands and knees and swing it around onto your back. This is where we're going to take our block, and you may need, a strap as well. Okay, so if you don't have a strap, get a jump rope, get an old necktie, get a piece of rope, whatever you need. Onto your back, block goes underneath your hips. Just make sure it is nice and centered. Okay, so first we're going to straighten the legs out. If there's strain in the back, lower the block down. Weird low onto your butt. Arms are down by your side, a 90-degree goalpost, and just let the legs, the wall's stopping me, flop out. So what we're doing is, with the use of the block, bringing the body a little bit more into an extension and getting into these hip flexors, which really lock in, especially if you spend a lot of time at your desk or driving. They lock in, they pressurize the back, and they reposition the pelvis, and the hamstrings get tighter. And what we're going to do now is draw the right knee into your chest. Okay, so inhale, right knee in, exhale, left leg long. This is your priming pose. This is where you find out the nice angle to bring that leg in, right leg. So for me, I'm a little bit more turned out. My knee's going a little bit more towards my armpit. So see where it feels good for you, where you get more range. Now we're going into a half happy baby. So reach down and grab the outer edge of your foot, left arm out to counterbalance you, and a half happy baby. Okay, if you can't do this, then use your strap around the foot and hold the strap. Inhale, pull the knee in towards your right armpit. Exhale, push through your left heel. So we're getting deep right hip, a little hamstring, and very deep left hip flexor. Try to relax your right leg and just let the arm support it. Soften the belly. It's a little push-pull, like you're pulling on a bow and arrow, and then you're pushing out through your heel. Some people, that hip flexor is so tight, the leg will be hanging out up here. Maybe bend the knee so that your heel touches, and then work to straighten from there. Okay, one more deep breath. And then we're gonna straighten that right leg. So you're either gonna grab the right big toe and pull in, make sure that foot is square, or you're going to put the strap around your foot and just working for about 30 seconds, that hamstring. Same thing as a little push-pull. Pull the right leg, inhale, push the left heel, exhale. One more deep breath. And back into your half happy baby pose. A couple more pushes in that left heel. And slide carefully the left foot flat. Some people are going to need the help of the left arm. And right foot flat on the floor. You're going to adjust the block. Bring the legs straight up to the sky for little heavy legs. Nothing like regenerating the lower body with heavy legs and encouraging that lymph drainage. And we're going to repeat the whole thing on the other side. So right knee bent, foot flat, left knee into your chest. Slowly straighten the right leg. This is where you find that angle, remember? So inhale, pull the knee in. Exhale, push the right heel. Transition into your half happy baby, with or without a strap. Noticing the difference, if there is one. Making that left leg as heavy as possible. One more breath. And then grabbing the left big toe with the first two fingers and thumb in a yoga grip, straightening the leg, or grab that strap around the left foot. Keep the foot square, holding both sides of the strap with your left hand, right arm out to the side so you don't tip over. Inhale, pull that leg in. Exhale, push that right leg long. Constantly negotiating these dense muscle groups. Really want to try and soften the belly, otherwise you're fighting yourself. Transition back into your half happy baby. Just a breath or two. Hopefully feels a little bit better this time. Don't forget about your right leg. That's the hip flexor work. That's opening up the hip flexors is sort of the back door to getting more range in your hamstrings. So we're repositioning the pelvis and giving a little more slack in the hamstring. And then very carefully, knee into the chest, right knee into your chest, legs straight up to the sky again. Adjust the block if you need to. Let's point, flex the feet, encourage that lymph drainage. Heavy, relaxed shoulders. Maybe a couple ankle rolls in each direction. And a moderate flex in the feet. With or without the strap, open it out into straddle. Okay, so this might be groin, inner thigh, but you are getting a little bit of hip stretch and definitely a little medial hamstring. I like to rock a little left to right. If this is rough for you, feel free to bring a strap around the feet. Give the legs a moderate amount of support. Okay, it's support. You're not holding back the stretch. If you feel like you want more, hands on the inner thighs. That'll weigh the legs down a little bit more. pushing through the heels. 30 more seconds. Sometimes I like to have my students hold this for about 3 minutes. One more deep breath. And using the hands on the outer thighs, bring the legs back together. Happy baby. This is a nice one because it really releases that low back. Rock left to right. And feet flat to the floor. Take the block out. Put your strap aside. Couple of knee drops into the outer hip. And one last thing, we're gonna walk the feet further away, drop the knees out into reclining diamond pose. So the feet are further away. Lower back might pop off the floor, that's okay. This is getting into that outer hip socket. Take a couple deep breaths here. If our feet were closer, it'd be more groin and or thigh. When your feet are further away, it's more outer hip. Hands to the outer thighs. Bring the knees together into your chest. Rock it up and back 3 times. And up to seated. So a great regen for the lower body, mostly hips and hamstrings. I hope you enjoy it. It's nice and quick, so there's no excuses to skip. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.
Add both our Yoga for Athletes books to your library